Hi, welcome to the Viking Report, a student news program brought to you by the Jefferson College TV production class. I'm your host, Tom Wells, coming to you from the JCTV studios here on campus. With the turbulence of the economy locally and nationally, there are a lot of people needing support. Here in Jefferson County, the rescue mission can help. I recently visited the mission and spoke with people who have benefited from its services. The mission has been a blessing for a lot of people since it opened in Peevely in 1978, especially for Basil Cummings.
They helped me out a lot. They helped me get on the right track to not being homeless again, getting into a society of doing, my own personal stuff, paying my own bills, being responsible for my own self.
The mission does a lot to help the needy. It's open 7 days a week, providing food, clothing, and furniture, and it also provides a shelter for men only.
We did start originally taking men and women and children. However, when you have women and children, you need a lot more supervision than what we could afford to pay for. So we decided afterward to just have a shelter for men. And we feel that men, being the head of the household, many of them have lost their focus as to what they should be doing. And so this is why we determined that we needed a encouragement center for men where they could find employment, they could get back in relationship with their families, and get back on their feet. So we find that it's very successful.
Although the mission is not a shelter for women, they can still receive assistance.
We are in close contact with Safe House and a few other places that are shelters for women and children only, and we do make those referrals. And women and children come here Monday through Friday for assistance.
The organization does so much. It serves hot meals on Thanksgiving, delivers to the homebound, and gives Christmas baskets complete with gifts. The mission also sponsors a summer camp for kids ages 7 to 11 and puts on a back-to-school drive.
We make up bags for children according to their grade level, and in that bag that we put things in like folders, crayons, pencils, paper, pens, sometimes protractors for the older kids.
With the number of services the mission provides for the needy, it still needs volunteers as well as donations. All donations are tax deductible.
I just want to thank God for these people because without them, I don't know where I would have stayed.
The founders, Mike and Louise Sardo, believe people not only need physical help, but they also need spiritual help. So every Wednesday night, there is Bible study here at the mission. As Mike and Louise Sardo leave after a long day at the mission, Basil Cummings reflects.
A lot of memories. Kept me out of the cold. put clothes on my back, food in my stomach. Met a lot of good people in this place.
For more information about the mission, call 636-475-3030. There's another organization in Jefferson County that can help those who have fallen on tough times. JCTV's Drew Clyte tells us more about Heaven's Closet Free Store.
Heaven's Closet Free Store is an organization located on the corner of Locust and 3rd in Hillsborough. This charity, founded by Donna and Doug Duvall 4 years ago, offers free amenities to those suffering during this economy.
And we help out like 400 to 600 people a week. And the purpose for the store is so people people don't work or anything. There's no jobs in here in St. Louis County.
Tony Ruffino is one volunteer that has been with the store since it opened. He says the store is a standalone charity with no outside help, so every donation matters.
No, we're not. We're not affiliated with no church, no nothing. What we do is we take donations like clothes, like old clothes.
Not only does Heaven's Closet need donations for old or unused clothes or other household amenities, they need financial donations to help keep the store running.
There's a drop-off, you put money in, and that's how we pay for the the electric and the phone and everything like that.
As well as aiding people with their everyday needs, the volunteers at Heaven's Closet offer a form of counseling with their prayers.
We pray for people, and we try to help them out as much as we can. We try to do things as much as we can, and mostly we pray for the people. And when we pray for them, I feel like when we pray for them, that I think that kind of helps out the people.
Customers are allowed 3 sets of clothing per visit. Sue used her visit to help out her family.
Probably 3 times a month, on average. I live in DeSoto.
Okay.
But I come and get things like for my dad. He can't get out.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
pick up things for the girls or whatever.
Yeah. Heaven's Closet does a tremendous amount of work for their community. Now they need help back from the community. By donating clothing, toys, or any other items can be made at the drop box at the rear of the building. Monetary donations are accepted inside, along with any volunteers. This is Drew Clyde with JCTV.
Heaven's Closet is open from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tuesday through Friday. At Jefferson College, students and faculty recently heard a moving speech from a woman who lived through one of the most horrendous tragedies in human history. JCTV's Amber Trudell was in the audience and tells us about the emotional story of a Holocaust survivor who wants to make sure that we never forget.
Rachel Miller, now of Chesterfield, is telling the sociology class on the Hillsborough campus her compelling story. She hopes no one ever faces the same ordeal she did as a Jewish child living in Poland during the 1940s and the Holocaust. Miller was invited here this past March by instructor Susan Welch to share her experience and raise awareness.
Very often I have young people that come and say to me, I promise that I will remember what you said today. And when they tell me that, I feel like I'm doing the job I should be doing.
Miller was born in France in 1933, raised in Warsaw, Poland. It was August 1941 when Germany invaded Poland. German SS and French police were outside Miller's home. All of Miller's immediate family was taken away to concentration camps since they were Polish, but she lived with her aunt since the French government made a deal that ensured safety to French Jews. They were the only ones not taken away. I kept thinking, my brothers are strong, they'll come back. And I thought my sister was so beautiful, surely she'd be okay, Miller said. Miller's aunt got nervous and put her in an orphanage. 3 soldiers wanted to adopt Rachel and bring her to America. Harry Epstein brought her here in 1946, a year after the war was over. Miller visited several concentration camps last summer. The worst one was in Warsaw, Poland. The camp was 80% intact. It still has ashes. Miller was sick for months after returning home.
My family had died in Auschwitz, and somehow or other, I was glad that they had died in Auschwitz. I don't know why. Maybe it was a little bit better. I hope it was better, because this was horrific. And I'm using the word horrific, and that's not even correct, because there is no word to describe it.
Jefferson College student Dylan Miller was moved by the lecture.
Hoping that everybody remembers it, because she's right. If people start to forget, it's going to happen again.
Miller agrees.
We don't have a Holocaust, but we have genocide. And I think it is our responsibility, number one, to write to our congressmen, our representative, our senators. We need to tell them that we can't allow this. This happened once before. It can't continue. It's not right. Every person has the right to live.
If you missed Ms. Miller's talk at Jefferson College, you may have another chance to listen. Miller often speaks at the Holocaust Museum in St. Louis. For more information about the museum, call 314-442-3711 or visit www.hlmc.org. A topic that continues to grab headlines is the discussion of legalizing marijuana for medical use and recreational. Over the past few years, there have been several attempts by some Missouri lawmakers to legalize its use for medical reasons. JCTV's Anthony Courtway talked to people locally to see what they think.
According to the Marijuana Policy Project, a bill was introduced the past 4 years in the Missouri House that would have legalized marijuana in the state for medical reasons. All the bills stalled after discussion in committee. Marty Zalanko teaches a drug class at St. Pius High School. He is well read on the issue and says there are good points on both sides of the argument.
Any drug issue is neither black nor white.
Right.
I don't know that anybody could say that legalization of marijuana in any state is going to be for the good, definitely for the good, or for the bad. Nor do I think anybody can say definitively if it's going to be good or bad for the country.
Marijuana is illegal both federally and locally in the state of Missouri. Solanco says that the issue should be decided state by state.
States, first of all, I think, should dictate what goes on in their own state. There are already 13 states that have legalized marijuana to some degree, and almost always for medicinal reasons.
The issue received national attention in last November's election after a ballot issue failed in California. The issue would have legalized the recreational use of marijuana in that state. Back in Missouri, the topic is also discussed here on campus at Jefferson College.
I don't think that it should be open to anyone.
I happen to agree with the legalization of medical marijuana. It's been proven that it helps cancer patients deal with the pressure and the anxiety of having cancer.
If my beliefs of not using drugs at all were to help somebody, if they were to use some, I think I'd at least let them go for it.
No drug issue can be looked at singularly in a single way, and every issue is neither black nor white. It's gray, various shades of gray.
The debate continues, but for now, Missourians who suffer from cancer and other diseases have to choose more traditional treatments. This is Anthony Courtway for JCTV.
We'll end the program with a look at a local attraction that commonly gets overlooked here in Jefferson County. It's the Sandy Creek Covered Bridge in Hillsborough, where folks love to visit. JCTV's Jacqueline McLeod is here to give us the history.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline, and I'm here to tell you a good place to take pictures for prom. It would be the Sandy Creek Covered Bridge. Plus, there's a lot of history behind it. And today, Ken Smith will be here to tell us all about the history.
In 1984, this bridge was closed to all traffic, so it has been as it is that you see it since 1984. A gentleman named Henry Steffen in 1886 was awarded $899 to rebuild Sandy Creek Covered Bridge on its current foundations, utilizing most of the debris that was left over when it was wrecked in the flash flood.
In 1974, the bridge was placed on the National Register of Historic Places and was completely restored to its historic appearance in 1984.
Our visitation here on the site is about 100,000 people per year. Usually, a lot of them come to look at the bridge. We get a lot of requests for car clubs to come out. A lot of weddings. A lot of people like to have the wedding with the bridge as a backdrop. You set up the wedding right here on the entrance to the bridge, and so we get a lot of weddings, probably about 20 per year, utilizing the site. A lot of people love to use it for pictures, for prom, homecoming. Everybody likes to come out and always have that bridge as a backdrop.
Creek Covered Bridge is also a hot date spot. Here's Drew to explain his ideal date.
Sure, I'd bring you here. We have a little picnic basket and a blanket, and we eat and watch the birds. Yeah, and then I might try to kiss her because it's a perfect setting.
We have the State Parks Youth Corps, which is an initiative by the governor and the state parks to put youths between the ages of 17 and 21 to work. We're going to have our youth corps out here painting the bridge this summer on the outside, and then the goal is eventually to get a grant. It'll probably be about a $40,000 grant to remove all of the graffiti, and what will actually end up happening is we're going to have to remove all the siding and replace all the siding, just leaving the original timbers, put new siding on, and paint that with vandal preventative paint. There's been a lack of regard for our cultural resources, and this is one of the most vandalized bridges in the state. People have used it as a community chalkboard. It's thoroughly spray painted on the inside. So many people, even though they like to get this as a backdrop to their pictures, they don't like to get pictures inside the covered bridge because of all the vandalism.
Bridge is located on the south end of Willie Mae Ferry in Hillsborough, Missouri. The park is open from 8 a.m. to 1 hour after sunset. The park is closed the whole month of January. Well, we learned the history and the future of the Sandy Creek Covered Bridge, and hopefully we have given you some ideas for taking pictures and having a nice outing. And for more information, you can go to www.mostateparks.org. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for watching the Viking Report, brought to you by the Jefferson College TV production class. I'm your host, Tom Wells. Be sure and stay tuned for Jeffco Tonight, our first ever student-produced late-night show.